Good afternoon, fourth year. It's me again. So this will be my second demonstration for this class. Okay. So today, last meeting, we I demonstrated all about database and table design, such as your ERD, the data types, and constraints. So that is the topic that we have on the video. So today I will be demonstrating on how to create database using the XAMPP. So for those who have laptop on their own, I hope you can download successfully download the XAMPP no? um, control panel. So it's available on the internet and it's free, very free. So all you need to do is to search for the XAMPP, no? XAMPP, XAMPP. XAMPP stands for Apache, MySQL, PHP, and Perl. So that is the meaning of XAMPP. The X because it can be a multi-platform. When you say multi-platform, it can be used on Windows, Linux operating system, Apple operating system, or even in Sun Microsystems operating system or Windows microsystem. I mean operating system. So that is what you call multi-platform. Okay. So let's start by double clicking or to open the control panel. Okay. So there will be no screen that will be displaying on our computer because it is on the tray here. So this is the XM control panel. So you can click that one or right click so that it will stop, or if you want to stop the operation or not, or quit. Okay, so that's the uh, XAMPP control panel. So if you want to double click, so this is the control panel of your XAMPP. Okay, so for us to create a database, all we need to do is to click on the admin of the MySQL. You can click this one, click admin. So automatically it will create or open a browser. I don't know what would be the default browser of your computer. So on my part, it is Google Chrome. But probably others will be Microsoft Edge or Mozilla Firefox and so on. So that is the on how to open your exam My Control Panel. Okay? Or you can also simply um, open your browser. Okay, either you have an internet or not. So this is an offline database management. So you can type local, and that's it. So we have local host without a space. Once you press enter, so it will popping up or redirecting on the page of the XAMPP. So Apache, MariaDB, MySQL na siya, MariaDB, PHP, Perl. Okay, so that's the meaning of XAMPP. You can click on PHP MyAdmin. Same process, same output when you are going to the XAMPP control panel. Okay? Now, to create a database, all you need to do is to click on new link. Once you click the new link, so there will be a database name here. So all you need to do is to type the database name. So as our demonstration, we will be making a student record. So we will type student, and let's make it enrollment. No. Let's make it stud underscore enroll. Okay? Yeah. So, do not put any space or spaces on creating a database name. No, later on you will encounter a fatal error when there is a presence of the space, because it will create a what you call this one, if on the is a blank, no, a blank data on our database. So it should have an underscore or a possible no space. So as you try to look at other databases here that I have on my database, I have underscore. No, there's no database name here that does not have underscore. So all of them have an underscore, or we'll remove the space. Okay. So once you're done, you click create. So it will be redirecting you on how to create table. Now, as you can see here, there will be a presence of your database name. Okay. Now, based on our previous lessons, on the database, so when you are creating ARD, as I have said, ang inyong ARD contains of entity and attributes. Entity always the name of the table. So for example, ang entity student. So you write student. Okay, that's the name of the entity student. Now, automatically it will have a default value of number of columns of 4. So remember, number of columns means number of attributes. Kung pila ang imo attributes siging create. Okay? So last time we created to, I think, mga 5, no? We created 5 attributes. So you put here 5 or 6. No, you can put n greater than 4 or less than 4 depending on the needed attributes. So here we will be using, for example, we will have student ID, student name, address, age, phone number, gender, and civil status. So we have 7. So we will put 7. Okay. Now, anyway, you can add later on the column name if you forgot some of the attributes on this column student. Okay. So click go. Okay. Now we will proceed on the first field. So the first field on the name here is all about the field. Field is your attribute. So the first attribute is, for example, stud ID. Student ID or stud ID. Or you can use underscore if you want. If you are annoyed with the ones no spaces, if you are annoyed with it, you can use underscore if you want. Okay. But on my part, I will be using no spaces so that I will not make an extra additional on the data. Okay. Student ID. So you can use varchar or you can use int. No. As long as you know as the data based on our discussion, so you can put any of the data type that you want to apply using the student. So let's say, for example, we will be using int. Okay, int. Okay. Now, length value, what would be the length value is the number of digits and how the value will be uh, placed on the int. For example, if you have 1 million, so that means how many digits is that? 9 or 10, depending on the length of value. So we will try to have, for example, 11. Now, next is, this one is all about the ASCII mention. When you say no, none, that means to say automatic. So what would be the ASCII is that would be the applied characters on the data. When you say ASCII, the ASCII is something like the characters that are present on your computer. So for example, the computer interpret 1010, so the ASCII will interpret it as letter A or letter B or letter C. So that is the ASCII. Okay, so for the attributes, so you can use unsigned, that means assigned positive, or you can use binary or 1010. So for this, we will use unsigned. So that student ID is a positive number. Then you have the primary key. So primary key is, click go. Okay, the primary key represents that the student ID is unique. Okay, so if you have observed, once you are you are going to transact something on the registrar or on the accounting, so they will ask you for your last name or either your student number. So student number is given to the student uniquely. Okay, wala na siya pareho. That's why what you call it is called primary or primary key, because that record is intended only for one student, especially your student number. So it is primary. Then let's make it auto increment. AI stands for auto increment. Don't use it as artificial intelligence, huh? So we will just tap on that. Okay. And remember, there's only one primary key on the table. Okay. If you have three tables, that means one primary key each table. So there's no two primary key in one table. Okay. So next is, let's say for example, name. Stud name. Let's make it varchar. Then let's get 255. Then let's say for example address. Stud add or address. Again, since this is a long type of addressing, so address can be more than how many texts, so we will be using long text. Then leave it blank. Then age, so let's make it number, or you can use varchar since age, there will be no computations on the age, so we will be using varchar. Then let's make it 255. Okay. Then we have gender. Let's make it again varchar, then 255. And then let's have contact, no, or contact number. Let's make it again varchar. And then what else? Varchar, gender, 19. And let's say for example, C status. Okay, then let's make it varchar. No, varchar. Let's make it 255. Okay, now once you're done with all of the names of the fields on the table student and the data type and the value, so all you need to do is to click save. Okay, so wait for it. Okay, now so this will be your first table on the database student enroll. Okay, your student enroll has now one student with the column of age, cost, a student ID, address, name, gender, status, constant, and contact number and age. So that's your column. Now, if you want to add another column, all you need to do is to click this new, or you can go for the go. So, but make sure that you place it on what particular um, insertion of the field name. So you can make it on the middle of these two, between these two, or you can make it at the last of the column. Okay, so make sure that you place it on the designated place for the new column. You can make two, add two, then you can click go. Or if you want only one column that you want to add, so you may click, I may choose one and click go. So let's say, for example, we will add student address, student status. So let's say we have What else? Course. Okay, for example, we will add course. So click go. So we'll type stud course. So let's make it varchar, then 255. Then click save. Okay, so once you go to enroll, so you have now your student, sorry, your column, okay, student. So here is the course at the bottom of this US status. Okay, so that's how to create a simple database and table using your XAMPP PHP MyAdmin. Okay, so you can go through again if you want to repeat the process, and if you want to create another one, another let's call this one table. So just click on the enroll, then all you need to do is to create another table here. Okay, as long as you need to have another table, so you can go to your database name, which is in student enroll, then you click here and then add another column if you want to. Okay, don't forget there is always be a primary key in each table, just like what we did. The primary key here is the student ID, okay, especially when you're dealing with um, records. So we need this the primary key for us to recognize that the student is unique. Okay, each student has a unique student ID. Okay, okay. I think that's it. So for your next activity, for as a group, so on the midterm tasks ng exam nyo. So example, assessment tuta. So we have create a database named currental. Okay, you know already how to create a table, then follow the fields, and follow the table name, and then follow the given field names and data types and value. Sorry, I forgot. And value. Okay. So you have PBL client, field names, data type, value. So this is your primary key. Table car, field names, data type, value. Your primary key is here. Table name, transaction, field name, data type, value. Primary key is here. Okay. Once there's no such thing as value, then just leave it blank. So those values lang nag-display amal ng sundan niya. Okay? And then, insert assistant records. Oh, by the way, I forgot to insert record. So from here, so let's say for example you're finished with the student. All you need to do is to insert records on the student. All you need to do is to click the student column. Okay? And then after that, we will create insert here. And so here, since the student ID is auto increment or AI, so all you need to do is to leave it blank. Then you can proceed to student name. So for example, student name is Jose de la Cruz. Right? Student address, we say Bacolod City. No, City. Okay. Age, for example, 22. Gender is male. Contact number is, let's make it like this. Civil status, for example, single. Student course, for example, is BSET. Okay. Then you can add another one. Let's say, for example, Nancy. Flores. Okay. Address, let's say Kabangkalan. Kabangkalan City. City. Okay. Age, for example, is again 22. Gender is female. Okay. Contact number, let's do it like this. Civil status, for example, again, single. And student course, for example, is ECE. Okay. And once you're done, since there is no another record to be inserted, so click go. Now then, look at your columns. I mean student pala, sorry. Okay, so you have now the records of your database. So if you want to insert again another record, so again click on insert. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that is how to insert records on this. Okay, so now use XAMPP application. Any version will do for creating database. Submit your SQL file to my email. Now, so this time I will be demonstrating on how to send your file using SQL file. This one. So you will be submitting on my email the SQL file. To submit an SQL file, you need to export it. So where is the export? Here. Okay. So you click the export. Okay. So wait for it. Okay. Now, so all you need to do is to name the fields of the name of our database. So let's say, for example, the name is stud enroll underscore enroll. So that's the uh, template. Okay. Then all you need to do is to just leave it. So with the text, with the CSV, but this time SQL file. Okay. So all you need to do is to click go. Okay, it will prompt you and where to save your file. Okay, on your computer you can save your file in any directories as long as you know where did you save it. On my part, probably I will be using desktop so that I can see it automatically. Okay, so there you are. So you have your student.sql. So this is your file. Okay, all you need to do is to submit this file to my email here. Okay, again, kindly put your full name together with your year and section on the subject. If you have uh, if you're a group, so kindly put the full name of each member on this subject. Okay, so if you have any question, you can message me on the official GC, and also you can leave your question on the comment section of this video. Okay, stay safe everyone, and good day.